Hey, well, hello and welcome to American Reversion. How are you all today? I'm Steve Smith. If you're new and don't know who I am, if you're new to us, we talk about politics here a little bit. We talk about how to get our country back to the way it was supposed to be, and that's the meaning of the word reversion. It's based on my first book, The Reversion. If you want to know a little bit about that, I always put links down below, how you can get it. But that's what we do here. That's what we do. We talk about why this country has become a mess and what to do about it, how to get it back to the way it needs to be. We have seen some interesting things here in the last few days in the election of a new Speaker of the House. It turned out to be Kevin McCarthy. I don't think too many people had doubts about that. Most of us can't stand him. We know him to be a snake in the grass, along with Snake McConnell. I call McCarthy a worm. He's not a true, but but Kevin the Worm McCarthy it is right in there with the rest of the snakes. There's an old saying: if you want to get if you got snakes in the grass, the first thing to do is to cut the grass. And that's a little bit what happened over the last few days. Excuse me, got a little bit here. That's kind of what's happening. I want to talk about that. The holdouts, the so-called holdouts of the Freedom Caucus, it started with 20, and then gradually they ended up either voting present, which Gates and Beaupert and a couple of others did, or they went ahead and voted for McCarthy, giving him the speakership. Now, there's a lot of people who are upset about that, and they're calling these people sellouts. That's not right. And I want to explain this, because if you're fighting, any kind of battle you're fighting, you have to know the rules. You have to know the enemy. You have to know what's really going on. You can't fight from a position or even assume a position out of ignorance. You have to understand what's going on. And what these 20 did was vitally important. They won. I want to make that very clear. They won. And they won for the country. The reason that they did this, if they had not held out, McCarthy just would have gotten right in and everything would have pretty much been the same. Somewhat distinguishable from the Democrats, but who knows? Maybe they would have pushed those investigations. I doubt anything would have come of them. We still can't be sure whether anything will come of them. We will see. We will see. However, we had 20 people stand on their convictions, and they stood up and they played politics. You see, this is what politics is, and as I've said so often here, when you're playing a political game, you have to play the political game. You have to learn to win at the political game. These folks showed everybody how to do it. What was the result of their holdout? And then why then did they agree to give their votes finally? Chip Roy and some others went ahead and voted for him, and others simply voted present. The thing there, if you don't understand what the effect of that was, there needed to be 218 votes because of the number that was in the House. And by voting present, what that did, it allowed those people, it was, excuse me, Beaupert and Gates and three others, I forget who they were, to actually act as if they weren't there, okay? I know it seems like voting present means I'm here, I'm not voting. Actually, what it does is it results in them appearing as if they're not there. Okay, what that did is that reduced the number of congressmen that were there and women who were there, and then it reduced the number of votes that was needed to vote in a new speaker. Okay, so they brought it down to either 2007 or 217 or 216, one of those 15. I don't know. I stayed up for it, but that's what happened there. So those five were able to still not vote for McCarthy, so they said, I didn't support him, but I'm going to stay out of it so as to allow the number to come down and allow him to be voted in by the majority. Okay, what did they accomplish? They accomplished a lot. Okay, and here's what has to be understood. I've just brought up here a few things. What were their demands? You know, I saw I saw Gates on, he and Lauren Boebert were both on Hannity. We learned a lot of, well, we didn't learn a lot about Hannity. Hannity showed his butt. He showed that he's a pawn, Sean the pawn, by the way he was bullying Boebert on his show the other night. But like good politicians, they came back on and they were smiling and yucking it up and friends again, right? I don't think they're going to forget what Hannity did, or some of these other people like that moron Bacon up in Nebraska, and who called them terrorists, and Dan Crenshaw. Crenshaw, you snake, you calling these holdouts terrorists. What kind of an idiot are you, and what kind of idiots voted you in just because you're a veteran and a SEAL? Okay, y'all got to get over that stuff. Y'all have to get over that stuff about idolizing these people because of military service or police service or anything. Okay, these people are as flawed as anyone else. But we learned a lot about them. Well, they came on a Hannity, and they were discussing the reason that they did these things. Okay, now what they got out of this by holding out, they got, and here is, we have heard these are the things that McCarthy agreed to. Now, is it on paper? Is it signed? We don't know. Okay, we're going to find out about that, but here they are. Number one, only one House member needed to file a motion to vacate the chair. Okay, that can be good and bad. I'm not going to get into that too much. It just means that one person, can get up and say, I move that the speaker be removed. It means that the Democrats could do that too. I mean, this could cause real problems. I'm not sure if I agree with that one. But it allows them, it puts McCarthy in a very weak position. Number two, Freedom Caucus members having a few seats on the House Rules Committee that will allow those members to leverage certain criteria behind voting for bills. Right, good, okay. Number three, voting on a bill setting term limits for members of Congress. Good. It's not going to go through, but at least they're voting on it, okay? They're forcing the vote. That's good. And I'm not sure that I agree with term limits for members of Congress. I know a lot of people do, but I don't think a lot of times they've thought that through, because there's good to it, but there's also some negatives. Not going to get into that here. Maybe I'll do another one on that some other time. Number four, individual votes on each of the 12 appropriations bills and excluding earmarks from such bills. Right? Is that not good? That is good. One of the things they got from holding out. That is good, that I think pretty much everybody here would agree with. If you disagree with it, you're wrong. Okay. Number five, a vote on legislation surrounding border security. Okay, what does that allow? It's not just a vote, but it's the discussion. It brings it out in front of the people. Again, we need this brought out. Are we going to be able to have success on these things? Probably not for a long time. But if they didn't get these, see, McCarthy could bury this stuff, just like Pelosi did, just like McConnell has. Okay, these things need to be brought up. Six, a 72-hour notice from the release of legislation before voting on it. Right. No more of these 4,000-page bills that they have 24 hours to read. Okay, that was good. And finally, number seven, a vote on a balanced budget amendment. Okay, doesn't mean they're going to get a balanced budget. It's going to mean they're going to get a vote on it in which they're going to be able to make Congress people attach their names to their vote. Okay, whether they will vote for a balanced budget amendment or not. And that's an amendment. Okay, that's not just voting for a balanced budget. That's an amendment to the Constitution, a balanced budget amendment. Now, we know that there's all kind of sneaky ways that people can get around this. And the naysayers and the contrarians here, and hopefully there aren't many left here, but if you are, and you make one of your idiotic contrarian remarks and arguments, don't expect me to let it go, because I will come back and you won't enjoy it, okay? I welcome it. I welcome it because it will give me the opportunity to show everyone else how wrong you are. Yeah, hard politics? Yeah, it's time for some hard politics. Now, that's 7. We think there were several more. Okay, we think there were several more. Because Gates said, I started to say this earlier, he said to Hannity, he says, I'm running out of things to ask for. Well, I'm not sure what he meant. I mean, I know what it sounds like it means. In politics, things don't always mean what they sound like they mean, so I'm not sure what he's getting at there. But we've heard there are more than these. What those are, we don't know. The point is that these were things that they got McCarthy to agree to that he would not have done on his own. Okay? He would not have done it if they hadn't threatened his ability to get the speakership. Simple as that. Simple as that. He likes to play hard. He's a bully. He's a worm. He's a snake. And he tries to go. He threatens these people. He threatens these people with, look what they did to MTG. And surprisingly, she has gone along with McCarthy and kind of gone after Beaupert on this. I don't know what to think about that. There's things going on in the background, I'm sure. But, she went into Congress and she didn't get the backing from her caucus and she had no committee assignments. She's actually done very well as far as bringing things to the forefront and getting the things out there in front of people for not having had any real standing in Congress except as a representative for her district. So whatever that is, the Freedom Caucus here, by those people holding out, they were able to get things done. This is politics. Finally, we saw some people in the Republican Party that showed a backbone. And I tell you, Gates and Beaupert, they've tried to destroy both of those. They've put I saw there were lies out about how she's worth $40 million. It's just an outright lie. They lied about Gates on whatever that was. They tried to get him. He stood up. He didn't knuckle under. He didn't run away. He showed backbone and spine that sadly we don't see in the Republican. You know what? When the truth is told about the Democrats, which is damning, anybody with any sense of values wouldn't vote for any of the Democrats, but for those people, it seems to be, what Rush used to call it, a resume enhancement, Okay, they can do anything in the world, and it just increases them in the eyes of their constituents. On the Republican side, on the right, just the slightest bit will damage somebody's career, and people will run. In a way, I understand that. I don't like to support people who have fallen short as far as in the character category, right? But too often, when lies are put out about these people, the people on the right, the Republicans, don't fight back. They don't stand up. Well, we have seen what standing up looks like with these 20 holdouts. So, sadly, I've heard a lot of comments since that about these people gave up, they knuckled under. No, they didn't. They won. And if you don't understand that, you need to understand more of what happened. Okay, so please, I know most of you understand this, but if you think that these people gave up, I encourage you, I ask you, I beseech you, learn more so that you know what you're talking about. Because if you don't know what you're talking about, if you don't understand this stuff, I'm not putting you down if you don't understand this. What I'm saying is, if you repeat this stuff, it's going to continue to have a negative effect on what you want. You're going to pass it on to other people who don't know, and they will pass it on to other people they don't know, and these people will get painted with a brush of being sellouts, and that's wrong. So please educate. Most of you I know, 99% of you are educated. Educate the ones who don't know. And if this didn't make any sense to you, please educate yourself so that you understand it, because this was a big win. This was a big win for the Freedom Caucus. Now they're going to be able to go ahead, and we're going to be able to see what they do with those investigations. Jim Jordan is a bulldog. He's going to go after these investigations on all the people that we know we want investigations on, right? Now, will he pull it through? We have hopes. We don't know. We can't be sure. I mean, I remember people like Trey Gowdy, who everybody, he was going to get him. He was going to go after him. He was going to get him. And everybody's going, yeah, Trey Gowdy, he won't let us down. He's hard. He's a prosecutor. He's going to go after him because he says all the right things. And Jason Chaffetz the same way. He's going to go after him. He's going to go after him. And remember what happened? Nothing. All of a sudden, both of them became Fox contributors. Nothing came of their investigations. Okay, so all we can do is hope, right? We can hope. Jim Jordan, I hope he's cut from a stronger cloth than Trey Gowdy and Chaffetz. Nunes, and another one, I had great hopes for him. He went off to run Truth Social for Trump. These people, when they see, there's a lot of money out here for me, well, that's the opportunity to see what their character is. You want to see what somebody really is, give them money or an offer of money or power, and then you'll see what the person's really made of. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to get that on today because I wasn't going to do one today, but this is the day after the vote, after the Warren McCarthy was made Speaker. Monday, we will start seeing how serious these people really are. And if they don't do what we want them to do, then we just continue to fight, right? Continue to fight. And remember, any of you who didn't vote, you're the cause of this. You're the cause of this. And all you people who did vote, remember, your friends who didn't vote, who were just too good, just too above it, because politics doesn't matter, well, I tell you, they were the cause of this. They are the cause of this because, again, we'll go back to Edmund Burke. All that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing. And if they won't do the very simplest thing, which is vote, they have done nothing, and they have only helped the oppressor, never the oppressed. Okay, you all have a good day. They did a good job. We'll see what happens. I'll probably be back on Monday to talk about my thoughts on what's going on. Leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think about this. If you double check, make sure you're subscribed. Give us a thumbs up if you would, and give us a comment and share this. I need to start taking a cough drop before I do these things. Share this with your friends. Share it with your enemies. Let them see what we're talking about. But in any case, remember that America needs a reversion. It needs you to be a part of it. It needs me to be a part of it. It needs all these people to be a part of it. And those holdouts showed what standing up can do for a reversion. Y'all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.